thanks to Hastings College for the use of their facilities for tonight's football game.
I'd hit the intro and go with it.
Test, test. Test. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lloyd Wilson Field here at Hastings College as we get ready for the 40th edition of the Nebraska 8-Man All-Star Game, and proudly brought to you tonight on StriveSports.com. My name is Eric Aug, and Tony Chapman is up in the booth as well. And we have got 15 minutes on our game clock, the West and the East. Tony, everybody's back in the right jersey colors, and we're excited to get this game underway on the kickoff from the West to the East, playing as the full 100-yard field. It'll be the East All-Stars after the West won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. So it will be the East All-Stars up here first on offense. And we've always got a lot of storylines that we'll go throughout the game, but it will be fun to see kind of how things develop, I think, offensively for both these two teams. It doesn't take a lot of time to look at the offensive and defensive starters for both teams and go, we really do have the very best of the 8-man guys.
Yeah, this will be fun. And, again, as this game's kind of turned into a spread them out, shotgun, just kind of like college football has, to be honest with you. But this should be interesting. We always look at kind of the stars, the playmakers, but this one usually comes down to who plays better along the line. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
The very first play of the game is a little jet sweep action. You want to talk new school football? That's a good example right there. Chad Bodie of Elgin Public Pope John, who rushed for 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns his senior year. Chad with the carry. And it was on the first snap offensively, and it looks like on this drive, is Ryan Newman, the quarterback from Creighton. Played for Coach Gene Sewer this year and the last couple of years for Coach Sewer. And what a nice job Ryan has done as they go with the little wing and the pitch out to the right side, carried there by Brad Bunner of Clarkson Lee. And that, Tony, ends a remarkable streak for the Patriots of Clarkson Lee. Over the last two 8-man All-Star games, every time a Patriot touched the football, it was a touchdown. 2 years ago, it was Chris Konachek and 3 catches for 3 touchdowns. Last year, it was Kobe Poprotsky with a fumble recovery for a touchdown. The first time a Patriot has touched it without scoring in 3 years. Pass over the middle. That's caught and complete for the first down. Dawson Sudbeck making the catch. Dawson from Wynot where he had 119 catches over his 4-year career, 1,600 yards and 26 touchdowns.
Heck of an athlete.
In 4 years, played for Coach Steve Himes up there, and I say way up there in Wynot. So the first down of the game goes to the East All-Stars, and Newman again in the shotgun. Looks right, fires it left. That's Sudbeck on a little wide receiver screen. Got a couple blocks out there, and he's got a first down across the midfield stripe. Pulled down on the play by Cade Pokorny. Sandhills Thedford will call a couple of the Sandhills Thedford guys. The other one we'll talk about a lot on offense will be J.C. Nutter. That'll be coming up. So back-to-back first downs for the East on their opening possession of this ball game.
It's always interesting to see kind of how the offense evolves at camp, and I'll be really interested to see on the East staff is Ron Beacom from Neely Oakdale, and he's a spread it out, chuck it all over the place. Neely Oakdale was, I believe, undefeated this year in D1 and ineligible for the playoffs, so incomplete pass there. Sets up, looks like second down.
It'll be second down, yeah. And last year we saw Osceola assistant coach T.J. Nielsen bring their version of the 8-man single wing. A lot of, we want 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of offense. So you only got 6 days or 5 days really to put an offense in. So what type of system are you going to put in is always the good question. Newman scrambles for a couple of yards there as he's pulled down by a kid that made more than one tackle, you might say, in his 4 years at Palmer High School. That was Hunter Reimers playing for Coach Nathan Glaus. Hunter averaged for his 4 years 17 tackles a game.
Heck of a player. They had a great season at Palmer this year. Obviously on Strive, we documented their season a lot, all the way to the state semifinals, lost to eventual state champion Burwell. One of the best 8-man games I've seen in a long time.
Newman escapes some pressure, gets down the sideline, and is popped out of bounds short of a first down, but not by too much. Last guy there, Pokorny and Reimers were both there, so it's the little scramble, though. Ryan Newman probably didn't have to scramble a ton playing there at Creighton, but a capable athlete actually did a nice job with the option runs when he was really most dangerous, and such a good running attack for Coach Sewer there and the Bulldogs. So fourth down and a short 2 to go here. It looks like it's going to be go time for the East All-Stars in the gold uniforms. They'll send Bunner in motion and hand it off right up the middle, and that is a first down carry inside the 35-yard line, and it's Cale Kleinschmidt of BDS getting a handoff. He hasn't done that in a couple of years, it doesn't seem like, but Cale takes that one for the first down. Kleinschmidt and the Eagles, of course, they were champions in Class D1 in 2015. Had a run all the way to the semifinals again in 2016, and Cale was a huge part of that. And he's going to play probably more positions today than he did in the last 2 years at high school. Newman steps up in a pocket. His pass, though, is incomplete through the hands of his intended receiver. That was Garrett Caldwell of Superior. Playing there for Coach Brandon Siegel. Garrett had 306 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. The Wildcats, one of those teams dropping down to the 8-man ranks. It's something that has happened. It's just a population shift thing. You can only play so many kids. You can only play so much of the kids that you've got anyway, as far as what you've got for school enrollment. So Superior playing 8-man football, but Garrett there could not quite come up with a handle. 2nd and 10. Newman fakes the handoff and is smothered quickly there. And that was LaShawn Thornabar from Elm Creek that came around the edge.
Play there.
LaShawn, he's fast off that edge. Let's just put it that way. It'll be, that's the other thing. We saw a couple years ago when you and I did this game, it was a big defensive battle, and it just happened to be a couple of big plays, really, that kind of propelled the East. Then last year, it was a lot of offensive plays from the West that got them the lead. So I think this will be interesting to see. There's just great athletes on both sides of the ball and everywhere you look. So this is a big conversion attempt here, 3rd and 10. Newman wants a pass over the middle. It's Bunner on the catch, gets a little block, and slips inside the 30. I think
that was Bodie. Wasn't it Bodie, 31?
Oh, it was 31.
Yeah, Bodie from Elgin.
You're right.
Pope John.
It was Bodie. And a pickup of 7 there, so 4th and 3. So pretty good job at least to get that far down the field anyways to make this a possible one. Little breeze out of the north. There's, dare I say it, Tony, there was a sprinkle out there during the pregame when they were announcing the parents and players of the contest here today.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of rain on the radar, but boy, it's just a perfect night. as our scoreboard has gone
Pay no attention to that scoreboard.
inverted.
It's doing funny things. And Taylor's trying to point to Austin through the window. Maybe we should just all take a timeout and try to collect ourselves and come back to Hastings for 4th down for the East squad when we come back.
The 2016 game MVPs from last year's football game. Tonight, if you please work your way down toward midfield.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Okay, we're back when we're just about ready for 4th down and 2. This is the opening possession for the East squad. Taking the time out to make sure they had all their ducks in a row. Newman gets a hard count, and he does get that West defense to flinch. And one of them was the defensive end on the near side, who was a late addition to the game, Chandler Doncheski of Palmer. We mentioned Hunter Reimers out there at linebacker. Chandler playing defensive end, and he got into that neutral zone, so that will be 5 yards, and it will result in a 1st down. We mentioned Reimers in the year that the Tigers had Doncheski. Obviously, it was a big part of that. Chandler also multi-sport athlete, and he also brought home a state wrestling gold medal as well this year.
Yeah, I was thinking on the way down here, trying to remember how in the playoffs, the East was loaded in D2 and got a championship from Fall City Sacred Heart. They were the 8th seed on that side of the bracket. The West was loaded in D1, and Burwell was the 7th seed on that side of the bracket, and they won the state championship. So I think we'll have some good balance. Here's Bunner. How about a touchdown for Clarkson Lee almost?
Just about. We were pulling for you, Bradley, but he gets it down inside the 5, all the way down to the 1-yard line. A nice carry on the inside handoff there for Brad Bunner. Noah Kirchhoff of Dundee County Stratton makes the tackle, but it is 1st and goal for the East squad. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the 1st period.
And if you're Chris Artisono, this is the perfect drive to kind of get this game going. They got good tempo. They got 5 first downs. They've controlled the clock a little bit. 4-minute drive, and now knocking on the door here.
Newman under center, quick hitter to the fullback over right guard. That's Bodie.
Stopped him,
and they did not mention any signal there. So Bodie stopped up by the West defense.
Stopped by the middle and the West.
Reimers was in there, 42, along with a nose guard, 52. That's Tucker Gartner of Giltner. Played for Coach Jeff Ashby, of course. Coach Ashby moving on to Wood River coming up in the next school year. So great tradition that he leaves the Hornets in. And it will be 2nd down and goal. Again, this just inside the 1. In fact, that official straddling the goal line down there. Newman under center. Quarterback sneak. That time he got it. And it's a touchdown for the East side with 7:11 to go here in the 1st period. Ryan Newman puts the East on the board first.
Boy, just a great drive there again for the East. Balance, rushing, and passing. They ran it 9 times. They passed it 5. The big 1st down they get from the offside on 4th and 2. They converted 4th down twice on that drive. So they're going to spread them out here and go for 2, it looks like, on the conversion.
So Newman goes into the shotgun. That's Kleinschmidt. That's the wing to the near side. Newman steps up, and he's got a guy wide open out there on the right, but throws it in the middle, and it's caught, and I believe it was Caldwell, but did he make it across the goal line?
He did.
He did, yes, indeed. Caldwell on the catch, and the 2-point conversion is good. The East leading the West 8-0 at the end with 7:11 to go here in the 1st quarter. We'll come back to Hastings after this.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
An opening drive touchdown for the East All-Stars. Ryan Newman caps it off with the quarterback sneak from inside the 1. Newman finds Garrett Caldwell for the 2-point conversion, and it's the East 8, West nothing. The guys in green set to get their first possession of the ball game. Thanks for joining us here on StriveSports.com this evening. A great time to have a football game. Cloud cover, maybe a sprinkle or two, a little north breeze. It is absolutely gorgeous for this time of the year, and it will be ready for another kickoff. But like you said, Tony, for Coach Ardisono and the East coaching staff, great opening drive.
Yeah, absolutely what you want. Now, if you're the West, again, you got to almost try to do the same thing here. Short kick, Lance Moore is going to take it at the 15.
It is Lance Moore of Mullen coming to the near side, and he is upended. Cale Kleinschmidt was down there on kickoff coverage and out to the 28-yard line where it will be 1st and 10 for the West All-Stars. So the starting quarterback, like we mentioned, we thought it might be, weren't for sure. Wanted to see, though, J.C. Nutter of Sandhills Thedford. You can't really probably say one or two good stats. You got to say every single stat J.C. put up. He does it in All-Star games. He did it in the regular season. He did a whole lot for the Knights of Sandhills Thedford in the last couple of years, and he takes on first down, takes quarterback sneak right up the gut for about 1.5 yards or a yard.
Interesting. First play of the game. There's tight eye, double tight eye, and they go with the quarterback sneak from Nutter, who I think he played in the Shrine Bowl. He's really nice player. Played
in the Shrine Bowl, was the Western Nebraska All-Star Game MVP from last week.
Wow.
He had 3 touchdowns that he accounted for in that one. So back to the tight eye formation again. And it is a big offensive line for the West. Be interesting to see just how they kind of go through everything there. Braden Malati had that carry, but coming up quickly, well, that was a big stick on the defensive side.
Tackle on the play by
Sam Morrill and Tyler Rakowski coming up with that tackle there for the east side, and just a couple of yards there. So 3rd down right out of the gate here for the West All-Stars in the green jerseys. You know, last year there was a little mix-up at the printers, so everyone was in a different jersey for the first time in 39 years, but everything is back to normal this year.
Threw me off, I tell you that much.
They want a little counter play to the near side and popping through, and that's a first down carry. Austin Bastianos makes the carry. It should be 26, I should say. Matthew Neiman of Brady. So Neiman gets the carry, gets the first down. Peyton Watts of Osceola on the east side makes the tackle, but it's out to the 40-yard line and a first down. And, you know, as they've done for a couple of years now, I think, Tony, right? We play the full 100-yard length, but the same normal 8-man width of this football game.
Makes it a little fun. And that was just old-fashioned counter crossbuck there.
Right down the line, the ball carried that time by Derek Siss, and he runs into a Mack truck wearing the number 47 in gold, and that is Sam Morrill of Creighton. 5'11", 240. I'm sorry, not a Mack truck. He's like a VW Bug is what he is. He's just short, squatty, and just like the perfect middle linebacker for 8-man football, I think.
Yeah, you're going 240 and moving like that. I don't know what Sam's doing in the fall, but there's some football coaches who'd like that in some small colleges around Nebraska.
3-man front for the East All-Stars on 2nd down for the West. Nutter under center. Wants a little quarterback counter. Out to the left side. There's Morrill again. I tell you what, Morrill putting Nutter backside down is a nice little feat there. But good to see Sam. Obviously, Sam's he's excited for the game. He's enjoying this. And it brings up 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. From just across the 45, they have to get right to the 50 for a first down for the West. We got 4.5 minutes to go here in the opening period. East took it down the field on their first possession, scored the touchdown, and the West trying to answer back.
I was all trying to figure out why this tight eye was being run by the West, and then I just remembered Carly Wells is coaching, and we saw option. There's option from Nutter, and Coach Wells out of Perkins County. He only threw it if he had to, and
Ball carried by Jason Nutter.
And Nutter
get a first down there. Yeah, he just got it.
Just got to the 50. It was Brad Bunner, actually, that came up from a safety spot and made a tackle there. But just did. It looked like it was going to pop open for a moment. You know, that's the other thing that, you know, from Coach Wells, you're going to get a lot of you're going to get some ISO, you're going to get some quarterback trap type action. I was kind of surprised. That was really the first time we've seen option, though.
Yep.
I have a feeling we might see that more than once here in the ballgame. So it's 1st and 10 from just across the midfield stripe with a little over 4 minutes to go here in the opening period.
But if you can execute option in an all-star game area, you get a leg up on the competition there. It's tough to defend, and if you got a good quarterback who can run it right.
Nutter again on the carry. That was Sam Morrill in on the tackle along with Colton Davis. We haven't called Colton's name yet. Lord Central Catholic, played for Coach Clay Carlton. And you would talk about big boys. I don't remember I thought 8-man typically had some smaller guys. Not in this all-star game. We've got 6'5", 315, 6'3", 300, 6'2", 275, and I'm only 3 guys down from the top. There's still more big fellas. That's just on the east side.
Yeah, you look on the west side, Colin Brown is as good as they come at center from Blue Hill, and then right guard is Nate Bartling from Elm Creek, and he was a really good player. Elm Creek had a heck of a season as well. I think lost to Burwell in the playoffs.
That was Malati with the carry out to the left side, and Peyton Watts from Osceola came up and laid the lick there. Peyton had 73 tackles in his senior season, 4 interceptions as well. He also accounted for 23 touchdowns on offense for Coach T.J. Nielsen. So again, a 3rd down, but they have not been stopped yet, have the West.
They've had 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 5. They've ran it both times and got it. So we'll see what Coach Wells goes to here.
It'll be Nutter on the option down the line, and he runs into a wall again. He's going to be shy of the 1st down there. It was Colton Davis, the nose guard, breaking off the block. And I tell you, you play 8-man football, you play any level of football that has an odd man front. You got a nose guard that can move straight down the line of scrimmage. You've got a player, because that's the guy that is going to make everything else on that defense pivot around. And if your nose guard is a stud, obviously the East has one right now.
Yep, you really control that line. You look at the both fronts on each side, who's winning, and the East did a nice job when they had it on offense, and they've done a good job here now. Our first pass of the game for first down.
For a first down, Nutter passes it over the middle to Tyler Gideon. That would be a good guy to get it to. Gideon, the 6'5" graduate of Burwell, played for Luke Gideon. He's a wrestling champion. He's a state finalist in some of the throws at state track. He's a fantastic wrestler, and oh, by the way, he's not too bad playing football either. That's a big old target out there at tight end, and a good pass there from Nutter right over the middle. Had to wait on it just a little bit. That was actually a good job by the defense to stack things up right at the line of scrimmage.
40-50. We don't write that on our stat sheet very much during the regular season, but we do here in the 8-man All-Star game.
Little counter play, and that's Malati out to the left side and hit quickly. This Sam Morrill kid, I haven't said his name, obviously, in the regular season, but holy cow, that's a lot of tackles on this opening drive, which is reaching kind of epic proportions. We might not have very many possessions in this game the way we're going right now, Tony.
Yeah, this has been it's the West has got to 3rd down every time, every set of downs here. So now 2nd and 7. You know, Carly Wells probably doesn't mind it, to be real honest with you. Kind of a ball possession kind of game. We've hit a minute in the first quarter, so might be moving the other way here before this drive's over.
That is a pitch play out to the right side, and just when it looks like it's going to open up for Matthew Neiman, boy, here comes the cavalry. Brad Bunner again come up from the safety spot. Rakowski of Osmond comes up from a linebacker and makes another hit, and here it is again, 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Not that 3rd down has been too big of a problem so far, but I think you're right, Tony. We might have one final play here of this third quarter, and of this first quarter, and we'll be off to the second after this.
Yeah, fine by us. This is kind of old school football here from both teams so far.
Sis deep in the backfield, Nutter under center, toss sweep. Sis looking for his blocks, inside out, he will not make it. great job inside out on the linebacker spot. It's Tyler Rakowski making the tackle again.
Yeah, heck of a play from Rakowski there to fight off the block. And he's kind of got a fun job playing kind of right next to Newman, because I think they're going to Newman, and he's probably going to be a guy who's unblocked most of the night.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. 8-0, East on top. It has been a lot on the ground. We've seen like 3 passes total in this game so far. Moving right along. Tell your family and friends this game will be over quickly if we continue on this. We'll be back for the second period after this on StriveSports.com.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Outstanding players for the defense last year.
They are awarding some of the MVPs from a year ago. Kendall Dixon from BDS played this last year at Wyoming, was a defensive MVP. Troy Gilligan of Anselmo Myrna had a punt return for a touchdown last year in this game. He was an MVP as well. So a little hardware to hand out here between quarters. As we get ready for the start of the second quarter, it'll be 4th down for the West All-Stars. They flip ends. Now the West moving into what little breeze there is out there. And it will still be J.C. Nutter on the field for the West. He goes under center, and it will be an ISO handoff to Milati to the left side, and he is short. I don't think he even slid far enough. They're going to stop the clock to take a look, and they did not. It's a turnover on downs. Peyton Watts came up, makes a tackle again for the East, and it's a turnover on downs.
Who carried that one, Eric? I missed it.
18, Milati.
18, Milati, thank you. Yeah, big play there was Colton Davis. He got rid of Brown and was able to kind of get a little bit of pressure, and now the East got it back on offense after a stop.
And going for the pass, Newman will not evade the grasp of the defensive player, LaShawn Thornabar. LaShawn makes the tackle, and it's a big loss for Ryan Newman. So just when the East thought, hey, we can maybe do something fun here on first down, Thornabar says, no. You're better off just running it, because this is a big old loss. They are going to mark it all the way back to the 12-yard line.
So now second and I'm going to say 22.
Second and 22.
Wow, how about that? Good job, Tony. Newman pressured again from Thornabar. He evades it this time. Now Newman is dropped again for a loss, though. That time on the defense was Cade Pokorny.
Ball carried by Ryan Newman.
Well, Newman has and the East have been stuck in reverse on the last couple of snaps. After that first drive, that seemed like it was like clockwork. On down and distance, it is about to face a 3rd down and is it just 20? No, it's more
25.
Like 3rd and 25 from their own 8-yard line. And it is Ryan Newman again in the shotgun.
You wonder if they got a little cute here on this second possession after the stop. And
going to run wide receiver screen, but it's through the hands of the intended receiver that time. That was Dawson Sudbeck. So after the first drive goes straight down the field, the second drive, well, it goes 2 plays backwards and an incomplete pass, and it takes a grand total of a minute, not even a minute, minute 10 off the clock.
Yeah, and if you're the West, your coach says that's a huge stop, because not only that, you've kind of flipped the field position a little bit. You're going to probably get the ball in East territory.
It's Lance Moore back to return for the West. And he will have a chance from his own 48-yard line. Makes a move down the near sideline and is bumped out at the 38-yard line is where they're going to mark it there of the West. So good job by the East, or by the West defense.
Punters return it to the East 43-yard line, where the West, or 38-yard line, where the West takes over 1st and 10.
How was Lance Moore's senior season, Eric?
It was good. It was good.
Heck of an athlete from Mullen. They win the state championship in basketball. He was their standout. His dad was the basketball coach, and then I believe he won both the hurdle races. The Class D
only
state
one.
champion. I apologize.
Phelan Sanford won the other one.
Oh, there you go.
J.C. Nutter at quarterback for the West on the play-action pass. Rolls out, finds Gideon down the far sideline. 1st and 10 inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Bunner was there on the coverage, along with Benny Stevens of Nebraska Christian. Benny had more than one tackle this year, or in his career. 373 tackles, 3 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries, and 6 blocked punts. So says Max Preps.
Carl Ostrand does a heck of a job there with Nebraska Christian. They continually are in the playoffs. Does a nice job with that team.
Nutter again under center. Wants the toss sweep. That is Sis coming to the near side. Playing for his coach, Carly Wells, one more time. And he picks up a couple on that play. Tackle made by Benny Stevens again. Benny wearing 43 out there. 43 and 41 is Chris Bentley from Neely Oakdale. 6'1", 220. They're both 6'1", they're both 220. One a DN, one a linebacker. Stout fellas playing football here today. 9:44 and rolling here in the second period. Nutter, handoff to Malati, left side, gets behind his fullback, spun inside the 10, near first down yardage. And they're actually going to, I think, have him stepping out at the 11-yard line.
Way better push, it looks like, from the West line here this series. That they were pushing guys down the field there on that carry from Malati. Give him 6 up to the 11. So 3rd and 3 I've got, Eric.
I would agree. And Neiman comes back in, you would presume, at that running back spot. It's also been interesting to see how the West has basically rotated 3 running backs, 3 tailbacks, if you will. Nutter has played all snaps so far at quarterback, and they hand it off to the fullback this time. And Michael Gibbons of Twin Loop is, I think he's going to be just shy of a first down. He is inside the 10. Bentley makes the tackle. And they're going to take a look, and they will say first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the West side with just under 9 minutes to go here in the opening half.
First down.
Right.
First down.
They marked it and didn't drop the chains right away, but now they have, and it is indeed 1st and goal. The fullback is Brady Rohde of Ansley Litchfield.
And a false start there. I bet they were going to throw one to Tyler. He was ready to go. I can see him running to that corner pylon off some play action.
So 1st and goal still, but now back to the 14-yard line.
1st and goal from the 14.
You know, it was always interesting to be around any group of all-stars because obviously if you're in an all-star game, you can play. Whatever all-star game you're at, you know, you can obviously, you know your sport really well. And it was interesting talking to Coach Artisono from the east side on Monday, just kind of marveling at how well all these kids can pick stuff up. You only have to tell them really once or twice at most, and everybody can grasp the concept. Now, you might still want to repetition it during the week in practice, but the concepts that you're trying to instill certainly don't take very long to get across when you're talking about guys of this caliber. Carry there to the 13 will bring up 2nd and goals. We're under 8 minutes to go here in the opening period.
That was Lance Rohde, I think, Brady Rohde from Ansley.
And 14, that was Gibbons, the fullback, on the tackle, and he is pulled down from behind by Sam Morrill. Called Morrill's name a few times. You know, a guy we haven't called yet, but he was coming down the line there, was Cole Wemhoff of Humphrey St. Francis, and getting the rosters and everything. I noted that there was a Wemhoff in the All-Star game from St. Francis, and I bet that had never happened before.
I bet you're wrong. Lot of Wemhoffs in Humphrey. Watch for Gideon here. Some play action off of this one.
Tight end on the near side. He will stay in to block. They will pass it, though. A fader out to the corner is just over the outstretched arms of the other tight end. That was Nora Kirchhoff of Dundee County Stratton. And Nutter fires it just through the back of that end zone. And so 4th and goal from the 10-yard line.
Pass intended for Noah Kirchhoff is incomplete. Brings up 4th down, 4th and goal from the 10.
But now if you're the East, boy, you got a chance to hold here. I doubt we're going to see a field goal kick, but you never know. But, yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, Nutter had one on a kickoff tee when they had just kind of come out and were just barely kind of warming up / just getting loose and booted one from the 40-yard line. So that'd be like a 50-yard field goal and had plenty of leg on it. But we're going to do something a little different here on 4th and goal. Nutter under center, drops back. Looking right now, throws it left, got a couple of blocks. Beautiful job there on the touchdown, and it's good. The score for Michael Gibbons.
That was a heck of a setup right there. They went unbalanced to the left side, and they split a guy right, and they faked the pass right, and then they had student body in front of him. Great play and great design there from Coach Wells.
The beauty of play action too, right?
Yes.
And now the conversion attempt to try to square things up at the 7-minute mark here of the second quarter. Kirchhoff, the tight end on the far side. Gideon, the tight end on the near side. And that is Braden Mallotti, as the I formation. And it's Nutter, and he will not evade the grasp that time. Kind of a one-handed tackle by Benny Stevens. And the conversion does fail. So the East still leads 8-6. Here with 7 minutes to go in the first half. We'll be back to Hastings College after this. Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy?
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now, this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
So another nice answer. The West on the board after the touchdown pass on a beautiful pass there on 4th and goal from the 10. It is a 10-yard pass to Gibbons from Nutter on the little fullback screen, and this the ensuing kickoff fielded at the 15-yard line by Cale Kleinschmidt, and he's out to the 29-yard line. Tony, this is a good time to mention that there is one guy that was on the roster this week that practiced for the first 4 days, and unfortunately a doctor visit Friday morning would not allow him to participate in the game here today, but that is Heartland's Austin Stewart, who was all set to play in this game after kind of battling through state track with an illness, missed out on the Shrine Bowl the first weekend of June that he should have been playing in, but you see a good shot there of Austin on the far sideline for the East squad. Set the single-season rushing record for both 8-man and the 11-man and the all-class record this past fall, but unfortunately an illness there right at the end of May, right before state track, has kept him, medically speaking, out of the ballgame. I know he dearly wanted to play in this one. Austin had his pick of basically any All-Star game to play in, and I know he was definitely looking forward to this one, but certainly the guys thinking about Austin. Hopefully he stays healthy the rest of the way, and that was a monster hit in the backfield. Holy cow. It was LaShawn Thornabar again, introducing himself one more time to the quarterback.
That's No Ploggy from Guardian Angel Central Catholics in there at quarterback now, and welcome to the 8-man All-Star game there, Noah. That was That was a hit. And, boy, LaShawn has really almost single-handedly turned this thing around a little bit for the West with his 2 sacks. They can't
And
handle
he's
him
there again. Ploggy escapes for a little while, but he's not going to outrun him for more than about 6 yards. Thornabar just tracks him down, and that's going to be a quick 3 and out, basically. I would assume this is going to be a punt here for the East, who, after going straight down the field on their opening drive, has gone in reverse. It's all been Thornabar, basically, since. Getting in the backfield and making things miserable for the East offense. So it'll be Ploggy to punt on 4th and 12. Lance Moore back deep to receive this punt as he stands at his own 32-yard line. Ploggy gets a nice one off. Moore will field it right on his own 30. Hesitates, got a block. It's going to be a block in the back, though. And
old Dawson Sudbeck got leveled, though, didn't he?
Yeah, Dawson's like, I'm okay.
That was Hunter Reimers. Hunter not afraid to lay you down.
Not at all.
So really, Eric, kind of an interesting turn of events here as this one has moved over, really to the West side. The West has had 2 3-and-outs now here in the second quarter, and they be real on it. They've 4 of their plays have been negative.
Of the 6, really, that they've taken then.
Yeah, they've had they have lost 17 yards this quarter, and now the East has it back here at the 25.
This is the West, actually, with the ball.
I'm sorry, you're right.
And we've got another penalty. How far is the block in the back go?
Would be a 15 at 10-yard spot foul, I believe. Does that look about right? Yeah, it would have been at the 35.
Okay. Well, we do have a false start there in the middle of that offensive line for the West. Got a little jumpy. So 1st and 15 now from their own 20-yard line. 5 minutes to go in the opening half. The East marched it down the field and scored on their first possession. The West countered 2 possessions later. And we are here at 8-6. This will be J.C. Nutter still at quarterback for the West as he gets 5 yards on first down.
Ball carried by J.C. Nutter. Tackle led by Trevor Luzum.
Trevor Luzum of Exeter Milligan. Been a few Timberwolves that have played in this game over the last few years. What a job, Coach Dean Philippi, who has been in Milligan and Exeter and places in between for seemingly a lifetime. That doesn't mean that coach is old by any means. It's just saying he's very experienced. Yep. Let's put it that way.
I think Dean did it. I think he grew up in Milligan. I think he's a Milligan High guy, and so just really done a great job with that program.
Nutter to pass on 2nd and 10. Lofts it deep. Kirchall's there, but it's incomplete.
Great defense from Bunner there.
Yep, Brad Bunner came over the top at the very last second, just made it interesting as the pass was coming down to Kirchall, but you got a little bit of an idea there, Tony, of why there were some college coaches that say, J.C. Nutter might be able to play this quarterback thing at the next level. Puts a nice little touch on that ball. That might have hung up in the wind as it's, I'm looking at the trees around the field here. It's blowing pretty good out of the north, which is into the face, really, of where the West offense is trying to go. But he's got some arm strength, a nice touch on that one.
They had
one of these is going to get caught.
Yeah, Kirchall. They had Luzum on Kirchall, and then Bunner's really just kind of roaming back there. He's kind of free safety, and he gave nice help.
Nutter now with a little bit of room will try to just scramble for it gets out of a tackle and it dives forward across the 35 for the first down.
Ball carried by J.C. Nutter.
Boy, had a couple chances at him and could have stopped him short there, but that ends up being 13 yards and a first down.
So keep in mind that when you see, you said earlier that we don't often write down 40 to 50 in our play-by-play sheets. There's a reason that 40 to 50 happens in this All-Star game, and it's not a perfectly straight down the line, but it's something that has been done for a while. We'll get to it after this one as they get a little counter play to the near side, and that is Matthew Neiman on the carry for the West as he is stopped up on the play by Tyler Rukowski. But there's a reason 40 is playing quarterback and 38 is playing tight end.
Yeah, I think how they've always done this ever since the first one in 1978. The West has always been even numbers. The The East has always been odd, and they line you up by weight. And every other number, they start at 11 and go up, and 56 and 57 end it. So that's how they determine your number in this game for the last 40 years.
This is Sis, a nice lead ISO off the near side, and he is going to be real close to first down yardage. Bunner and Luzum both over there, along with Biltoff for the East defense. How about a gain of 10, and they'll call it a first down as they mark it right to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, they're at the 41, so I'm gonna go 8 there. First down though.
First down.
And now you can kind of feel the West now. That was their 27th play, and they've now got more plays than the East, when it really felt like for about the first quarter and a half the East had kind of dominated this thing, but now the West is kind of leaning on them again. Malati.
I think that was Malati. Yeah, it was Braden Malati with the carry. You know, that's the other thing that, you know, as we said, it was interesting to watch the West All-Stars and Coach Carly Wells kind of rotate running backs. Well, the nice thing about being able to rotate all of these running backs is, boy, you kind of have seemingly fresh legs. And while it didn't show up early in that first quarter necessarily on that first drive, you have a feeling that it might show up later on down the line. It's just it's a matter of that physical conditioning. How many of these guys are in game shape, really good, positive game shape at this point in the summer? Not all of them. That's the point. So if you're rotating guys and keeping them fresh for an offensive backfield, you might be able to wear on some guys. Going to get a timeout taken by the West with 2:22 to play here in the first half. We could step aside as well. The West on the drive when we come back.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work a computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Two and a half minutes to go here in the first half. The West with the ball, trailing the East 8-6. The only difference right now, a failed two-point conversion for the West the last time they had it, but an opportunity here. They got this ball with 5:01 on the clock, so time and distance, they're just about where they want to be. If you're the West, try to score at the end of this. This is Nutter just on a straight bootleg. We're going to get a hold out there. Kirchhoff was tangled up with one of the East defenders.
Looks like it's raining, Eric. It looks like it's raining.
It is raining. Yes, it is.
Pretty good, actually, it looks like.
A nice little shower. Taylor's about to dash downstairs and put an umbrella over that camera down on the field. So, yeah, we're going to get a hold, though, on Kirchhoff out there on the far side and negate what would have been about a 6 or 7 yard carry by Nutter and move it back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, so we're actually going to give Nutter a 1 yard gain there because they're going to give him the 50. So, yep.
Right. Yeah, that is a nice little shower coming down right now here in Hastings.
So now second and 19.
From the 40.
Yep.
Nutter under center. And they will roll to the near side. And Nutter just going to keep it. Now he looks for a block, and he is ushered out of bounds, but he crosses midfield, so he picks up the penalty yardage plus about 3 or 4.
He's all the way across the
Rakowski.
46 almost, it looks like.
We'll
give him the 47. Well, 13.
So 3rd and 6 coming up with 2:07. The clock stopped as he was out of bounds. And again, rotating the running backs. We've seen Malati, we've seen Sis, and we've seen Neiman, the 3 running backs for the West All-Stars. It's Braden Malati of West Holt out there right now with J.C. Nutter of Sand Hills Thetford under center.
what's really been interesting is the other core 7 have been pretty much the same guys the whole game. I think Malati, did he get it? It's going to be close.
He's going to be real close. Boy, he kind of went into a pile, and I didn't see the gap, but he slithered through there.
Yeah.
And is very close to first down yardage.
I think just short maybe.
They might have to mark it and measure it. That's the other thing. So many times you play a regular season game, even if you play good teams, that there always seems to be at some point in a ball game where you keep running that sweep or that ISO or that counter, something pops eventually, right? Because somebody is just one half step out of line. But when you play in an all-star game, you really don't get that very often, do you? I mean, if you were Coach Wells, you're probably used to seeing your running backs already pop one or two of these runs that we've seen.
Yeah, you get 16 great athletes on the field as opposed to your regular high school game when Derek Siss is way above everybody else or Braden Malati is way above everybody else, and one missed tackle sometimes is a touchdown.
Right.
But not a lot of missed tackles and a lot of talent on this field. So you're right. It's kind of more wear on them a little bit.
So it's Neiman deep in the backfield. It's just going to be Nutter on the quarterback sneak, and they're going to give him the 40, I would imagine, here, and that will be a first down for the West. Minute 41 to go here in the first half. Sam Morrill was in on that tackle. Hey, that field camera still looks great. It's got a Taylor's down there now with the umbrella over it. As we've still got, it's not pouring by any means, folks, but it is enough of a shower, just enough to make sure that we don't want our electronic equipment to get wet anyway. Nutter, this quarterback run the whole way, coming down the line, gets it to the 35-yard line. That was a good tackle coming down the line from behind. Who else? Sam Morrill. This guy just makes tackle after tackle after tackle. The former Creighton Bulldog, a gain up of 6, though, as they mark it right to the 35. It will be 2nd and 4. And now a quick official stoppage. And they're motioning to Bunner.
I think he's got an issue with his helmet or something.
Either helmet or some blood, perhaps. Well,
he's going to put a wristband over top of it. That'll fix it.
That'll stop that bleeding. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
They spread them out again here.
And Nutter going to throw it and just lobs it down the field. And Bunner is there for the interception. Bunner picks it off, now has some room. Going to the far sideline, 15 and out across the 20-yard line. Brad Bunner picks off the pass for the East All-Stars.
Chasing Nutter's pass intercepted by Bradley Bunner. Bunner is taken out of bounds by Michael Gibbons.
Boy, and a couple missed opportunities now here for the West. Boy, you thought maybe they just have that ball for the rest of the half. Now it'll be interesting to see what the East wants to do. Are they just kind of content to get to halftime, or are they going to try to take a shot here?
So the East, yeah, when they've tried to, take a shot, it's been Thornberry that has just been brutally tough to block because he just hasn't done it. We've got a timeout here taken by the East. They just want to make sure that they have everything kind of settled away. But, this game, let's go back to that first quarter. The East takes the ball first. They march it very steadily. Nothing huge on the plays, but they just march it steadily down the field. Ryan Newman caps off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run and got the conversion pass from Newman to Garrett Caldwell for the conversion. So it was 8-0. They force a turnover on downs by the West. And the East, they come back out, and since that second drive by the East, this is only the third time they've had it since that opening touchdown. The other 2 times they've had it, though, it has been the LaShawn Thornabar show. LaShawn from Elm Creek listed at 6'3" and 210. The East All-Stars have not blocked him at all. He is the defensive end on the near side. And you see him kind of winged clear out here outside of the tight end. That's Caldwell. So they're going to run a counter right at him, and it's Bunner got a decent little block that time and gets it across the 25 and out to the 28-yard line.
Ball carried by Bradley Bunner. Tap on the play led by
But Thornabar, every time it's been a pass, whether it's been Ploggy back there or Newman, Thornabar has barely hesitated getting into the backfield. They're going to try to block him one-on-one again this time. Ploggy fires it near side, and it's caught and out of bounds. It will be a first down there for Dawson Sudbeck. Ushered out of bounds by Austin Bastianos. So 19 seconds officially on the game clock. Our clock went a little bit farther there. Thank you, Austin. Fine job. 1st and 10. So 19 seconds. I think maybe one timeout for the East here to work with. Ploggy with a really deep shotgun right now. Now he scoots up a little bit, but still only to 6 yards. Ploggy deep down the sideline. Sudbeck is out there. Contact. No penalty flag.
Pretty good defense from Reimers there.
Reimers the linebacker, but when you play 8-man football, there's about really one true position, I think, and that's nose guard, and everybody else is kind of a mix of some sort of positions, right?
Yeah, and the faster your guys are, generally the better your football team is. Coach Glaus had a lot of fast guys.
He had a lot of fast
year.
guys, yep. Caden and Hunter Reimers on the squad. There goes Thornabar around the edge. Ploggy rolls left. Incomplete pass. On the far sideline, Cale Kleinschmidt was the intended receiver. And it will bring up 3rd and 10 with 7 seconds to go here in this first half. So if there's wind, it is at the back of the East. 7 seconds, you might have 2 snaps if you do it just right.
Hook and lateral?
Middle
of the field.
Double pass. You know, Cale Kleinschmidt was a quarterback this past year for BDS.
I mean, you look at Sudbeck and Ploggy and Kleinschmidt and Caldwell and Bodie. Those are some good athletes out there. They could – you never know. Are they going to – We have a timeout.
We're going to get a timeout here for the East. So they're going to take the timeout now as opposed to maybe try to run something and then call the timeout. So have the ducks in a row before this play.
You know, it looks to me like I can't really tell from over here, but it looks to me like, Eric, that for the East team, Coach Artisono and Coach Shipley are kind of in charge of the defense. And I know Coach Artisono at BDS coaches the defense for them. That would make sense. And then Coach Beacom's kind of running the show here. So it'll be interesting to see if he's got any trickeration up his sleeve here.
You know, that's the other thing. If you're going to run a trick play, you're running it against all-stars that right now are being told, hey, watch for a trick play. Watch for a hook and lateral. Watch for something funny here, right? So, you know, sometimes you're actually better off just running a quote-unquote normal play and hoping you just get it to go, right?
Right.
So Nutter is actually out there on defense now for the West. He has taken over that deep safety position. Reimers is the quote-unquote corner on the near side. Thornabar is split way out wide, so he's going to give himself some room on the defensive end on the near side, the left side of the defense. Give himself to work.
Reimers has got Caldwell.
So Ploggy steps up in the pocket. Will throw it deep down the far sideline, and it is out of bounds. Kleinschmidt caught it, but out of bounds, and that took the 7 seconds, and that is your first half. Eventful and quick. We like it. 8-6 at the end of the first half. The East leading the West here in this 40th annual Sertoma 8-man all-star football game at Hastings College. We will be back and have some of the presentations coming up for you next on StriveSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
The trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Welcome back to Hastings College here on StriveSports.com for the 40th annual Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Football Classic. We've got some awards to be presented out there on the field. The Hall of Fame class about to be presented here shortly, so we'll kind of take a look at some of those out there. But, Tony, this is, it's not just a game. There's a lot of different activities that these guys do. Plenty of them are fun. It might be miniature golf. It might be bowling, cosmic bowling that first night. But they also do a little bit of community outreach, if you will, and it's one of the nice things that the Sertoma does that's kind of just in conjunction with this entire week, and it really makes it a fulfilling type of event and an atmosphere. Sure, the game is a lot of fun, but there's a lot more to the game and the week than just the football game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always been that way, and the Sertoma at Hastings has been involved with this thing from day one. When they wanted to start this thing, the Sertoma stepped up to sponsor this game, and now kind of a neat thing right now they've got going on down on the field is they have their first ever 8-man football Coaches Hall of Fame inductees, and Pinnacle Bank stepped up to sponsor that, have the Hall of Fame here in Hastings, and then they'll continue to add coaches and athletes to that. And so this is a really unique thing after 40 years to have a Hall of Fame, and having a dad who was involved in this one. There's some familiar names in that program as they announce these great coaches and a few athletes too that they're putting into the Hall of Fame.
Do we have the list of the Hall of
Famers?
Famers?
Back, yeah.
Why don't we go through a few of those?
Yeah, so you have right now it's Al Combs from Potter, one of the great early 8-man coaches who's on the field now and getting honored. But a lot of coaches and 2 athletes. It looks like Mike Hahn, who was from Hampton, played in the first 8-man All-Star game and was a standout there, an All-Stater for Hampton, and Brian Vitosh, who actually had a son play in the game. Austin Vitosh, you remember him from our first game we did in 2015. His son played in that game. And Brian, I'm looking at Brian. Brian was played in the first 8-man All-Star game, and he was the most valuable player of that game. And Mike Hahn, I think, was the most valuable defensive player. And his Mike's junior and senior years at Hampton, they were 22-2, and Hampton was really good in football, late 70s. Their coach Jim Connick is also being honored this time. But some longtime coaches, Ken Cook, who was the coach at Adams for ages, Dan Moore, a coach at Ansley for forever, state championships. You mentioned Carl. We mentioned Carl Ostrand. He coached Carl Ostrand in high school. John O'Brien was a coach at Shelby, one of the first coaches in this game. Gary DeBoer, who was at Lawrence or as at Nelson. Nelson forever, and then led the Lawrence Nelson program for a long time. So just some really great guys. Mike Brown, who's still coaching or coach at Mullen, has had multiple state championship team there. There you see him being honored, that familiar mustache down on the field. And
blowing in the wind right now.
Yeah, Dr. John Cerny from Bancroft Rosalie, 3 state championship teams. Just some great guys down there who really did a lot to promote 8-man football in our state and to grow the game. And when this thing all started, 40 years ago, probably a little more than that when they formed the Coaches Association, this has been these are the guys that kind of got this thing going and really are responsible for what it is today.
It's always interesting for me every year. I don't have quite the background in the 8-man ranks that what you do, but it's always fun to come back and open up the program and just look at some of the names that I know that like your general Husker fan might know. Like Terry Keneally in 1990 from Hyannis, the outstanding defensive player on the west side. Billy Legate from Clearwater a couple years later. I played elementary football with Corey Cook of Shickley, who was an MVP in 1998. Some fun names and really fun to look back at all of these. And that's the kind of the cool thing about the program always getting updated with all of that stuff is to be able to look back at some of these names and realize where they went to. So many of them go on to things that are, so much bigger than football or any athletics. But it's also fun to be able to kind of recognize like this first class here for the Hall of Fame, to be able to recognize the contributions of coaches and players and athletes for several years. And something else that the group of guys also up here in the press box, whenever we start to get set up, they've been having their meeting for quite a while. They're talking about contributors to the sport of 8-man football, and one of them, actually 2 of them that they'd mentioned, and I wasn't eavesdropping, just happened to be in the hallway when they said it, but Bobby Mills is down there on the sideline, who's literally written about every high school player since probably ever, right?
Yep.
Bobby's been around for all of it, and Bob Jensen out there with Huskerland is right out there in the thick of everything too. A couple of names that were thrown out there, and those are 2 of several of the media types that really kind of help promote that, because you can have fun games and you can have great coaches, you can have great athletes, but to tip a little bit of a hat to the rest of the media, someone has to write about that, or produce a video, or tell a story, or produce a radio broadcast of those games. And so there's been a lot of good media over the years that have helped promote and helped grow the sport of 8-man football.
Yeah, Bob Jensen probably has done more for football and high school sports in Nebraska than anyone outside of Stu Pospisil or Riley Jean Hamilton. And you talk about Bobby Mills. Bobby's the Bobby Mills 1,000-yard club is something that I think Bobby's been compiling those 1,000-yarders since 1975. And the thing with Bobby is Bobby wants to know you. If you were in Bobby's club, Bobby wants to shake your hand and walk the sidelines with you. And he's an encyclopedia of Nebraska high school football. Both those guys are, and just great guys and great people and tireless promoters of football in our state. You missed a few. Joel Makovica.
Well, I didn't want to say them all. I mean,
Lance Thorell.
Steve
Krewald, Nathan Bajda. Who's not in here is Drew Ott.
Was not an MVP.
Frankly enough, one of my heroes growing up was Darwin Schneider from Winnebago. I watched him play. The first ever playoff game I went to when I was in about 2nd or 3rd grade. My dad took me over to Lawrence, and Lawrence played Winnebago, and it was 50-48 or 58-56, or I don't know, something. And Darwin Schneider had 8 touchdowns, and there was about 30 kids on the field after the game asking for his autograph. He went to Nebraska, tried to walk on, and I think just finished school there. Didn't end up playing there, but he was one of the most dynamic 8-man athletes I've ever seen.
I remember now why, as I'm looking through the outstanding offensive players, I remember why I called Braden Malati Travis Malati, because Travis, I remember that. Travis did play. Travis was from Bloomfield.
Yeah, the old NET days when we would have the game on NET. Yep.
So why was I was not involved in that except for the fact that I was on the NET crew and I held one of those. Here's some terminology for you. That's called a parabolic mic. That's that big clear half circle thing that you see on the sidelines of football games, and you're like, what in the world is that? There is a microphone pointing back inside of that little big cone thing, and that cone brings a lot more sound waves in, so you get the sounds from the sidelines.
Got it.
I had that thing turned just right. I could hear a football leave the fingertips of the quarterback from about 20 feet. That was really cool. So, yes, that's why I remember Travis Malati. I guess I will never quite – you never really forget your first Malati, I suppose, and because you don't see MLA right very often. So, fun stuff there. Austin, let's take another break here real quick. Perhaps our intro video again, our hype video for the week. You can see what we got a chance to be around the players and coaches a little bit there on Monday. We'll take you through that, and we'll come back and actually get you some of the halftime stats for you here of the 40th annual Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Classic.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
The trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
Eight-man All-Star game here at Hastings, Lloyd Wilson Field, A.H. Jones Stadium, the Tom Osborne Family Sports Complex. There's a lot happening right here. What's the name of the gym?
Lynn Farrell Arena.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's all right here. I always like to mention everything that's going on here. Tony, for just 8-6 as our score, an entertaining and really well played game on both ends. We saw good offense, we saw some good defense. About the only thing we haven't seen so far is a big time special teams play.
Yeah, absolutely. I was you run through kind of the stats here. The West had 106 yards rushing, 39 yards passing, 28 carries. So I think Coach Wells likes that. I think he'd like to lean on those big guys here to the second half, and like we talked about in the first half, fresh backs as well. He's been playing 4 backs there, and so they're kind of doing it by committee on defense, and they kind of got this core group of 7 guys on offense that they're playing, and then they rotate that back in, whether it be Sis or Malati or I think Barrientos, maybe another one of those back. Neiman, there you go. Nutter's got most of the carries, 11 for 54 yards. Again, they ran for 106 yards for the East squad. Or the West squad, excuse me. Now the East, they have 72 yards of total offense. They had 71 on their first drive,
right?
And so it's been kind of hit or miss since that opening drive. The West has really controlled it defensively. So we'll see if this is we'll see what we get here in the second half. If we get some offense or some defense. I'm looking through here. We've had 2 winners score less than 10 points. We had an 8-7. And the first game was 58-26.
The very first one.
The very first one. The second one was 8-7. So, and then the third one was 10-8. So then after that, they were kind of all in the.
So the first game set the scoring record, and the second game set the lowest scoring record.
It did, but then in 2011, the West won 7-0. In 2011, so I probably covered that one for the Grand Island Independent, but I do not remember that one. So, there you go. So we'll see. I think if a team gets to 20, they're probably feeling pretty good here in the second half. I think the teams are very, very balanced. You look at kind of the East individual stats. There's not really much to go on. Brad Bunner's got 26 yards on 3 carries. He would be leading them in rushing. Of course, he had that 20-yard run that kind of set up the touchdown there. And then 4 pass completions for the East team, 3 of those to Dawson Sudbeck for 35 yards. So that's kind of about all you got there for the East team. And then the West deferred, so they'll get the ball. So a big possession for the West. It doesn't feel like they're losing, but they're losing this football game. So it'll be interesting. That'll be a big possession as we start the third quarter, maybe set the tone here for the rest of the game.
Well, and we had mentioned it there towards the end of the first half, but after that first drive for the East, they come out the next drive and try to pass on first down. And the guy that just completely flipped this game was LaShawn Thornabar of Elm Creek. LaShawn was in the backfield immediately, got a huge sack on first down. Didn't get the sack on second down, but was right there to force Newman to scramble, and he got tackled for a loss again. And then the next possession did it again, got a sack on first down, made the tackle on 3rd and 14 for like a 2-yard gain. He really, in the span of 6 offensive snaps, really changed the way the East was trying to play offense. And they had one little bit of a drive at the very end of that first half where they got about 20 yards in a couple of plays, did the East, but they just really haven't done much since that opening drive, and Thornabar was a huge thorn in their side, if you will, on defense.
Yeah, it's been like pulling teeth, really, for the East since that touchdown drive. Again, like we said, they've had 1 yard of offense and 1 first down since that drive. And they've really got, if you're Coach Artisono, you're really preaching stop here, and then maybe see if they, even if they could just control the clock a little bit and get it going that way. I feel like maybe they get a little bit of momentum back here. And then if you're Coach Wells, you feel like you've got the momentum, but you really need to score so you can get ahead, and then feel like you've got it, because even though you feel like you've controlled the game, you are down 8-6, and you want to play from ahead here in the second half of this one.
And you get an all-star setting. We've seen it a few times. The team that can manufacture a big play, right? And I know I say this during the regular season, the playoffs, but when you get 2 teams that are really evenly matched, both teams have really good offenses and defenses. It's the quote-unquote what I call the funny play, right? Nebraska-Oklahoma, 1971, game of the century. What was the defining play of that game? Johnny Rogers' punt return. The offenses in that game were amazing. The defenses took turns making their own plays. But the funny play that made the game at Nebraska win was Johnny Rogers' punt return. We saw it 2 seasons ago, York and Aurora at the end of the regular season. The winner was probably going to be the 1 seed in the Class B playoffs. The loser was going to have an uphill battle. Was probably going to have a trip to McCook in there, and they end up with Aurora blocks a punt for a touchdown in the first quarter. York makes this huge comeback in the second half, but what was the deciding factor? A block punt. So funny stuff like that sometimes can be the difference in a close, very evenly matched ball game, like this one obviously is here today.
Yeah, you nailed it on the head. There likely will be one big play, 1 or 2 big plays in this second half, or maybe one big drive that wins this one for one side.
Let's take a commercial break as they finish up some of the Hall of Fame introductions down there, and when we come back, we'll be ready for second half action from the 40th Annual Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Classic on StriveSports.com.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Hey, what's going on?
Just checking the fields. Yours are looking pretty good. Must be doing something right.
Actually, I got a guy.
You got a guy.
Well, it's not just any guy. I got a channel seedsman.
Channel, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working with him pretty close to get, well, you can see for yourself. This is what I'd recommend. Let's get to work. Now this is what you want to see.
Maybe I should get a guy.
Maybe you should get a channel seedsman.
Find your channel seedsman at channel.com.
The trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today. So we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
2-minute countdown. Welcome back to Hastings for the second half of action in the 40th annual Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Classic here on StriveSports.com. I'm Eric Olga, Tony Chapman with me. And a fun game in the first half, and we're looking forward to more. The lights are on. It's nice and cloudy. Had a little shower go through earlier, but everything seems to be dry right now. So our camera equipment's okay outside. We're okay with that. But fun atmosphere. I love the fact that we're not baking in the sun right now, Tony.
Well, we wouldn't be baking in the sun no matter what.
Well, it might be warm anyway in here.
Yeah, exactly. But, it's a perfect night. And, probably, mid-70s maybe, and probably dropping down into the maybe the 60s by the time we're done with this thing. And rain has kind of moved past us, it looks like, a little bit. Just some high clouds. And we'll see how this thing goes. A big drive here, I think, for the West team. To get this second half started.
It'll be Lance Moore and Kiffin Cook back there to return this second half kickoff. Cook, the tight end / defensive end, the other one of Coach Carly Wells' players that is in this game. So Kiffin and Moore back deep, and it'll be Garrett Caldwell of Superior set to kick it off for the East All-Stars. 12 minutes back on the clock, and we are just about ready to start this second half of action in the 8-Man All-Star Classic.
What do I say? We had the highest ever scoring Shrine Bowl, didn't we, a couple weeks ago? Right. I think I read that. And this is a little different, huh?
Right. Nice high hanging kick. Caldwell puts that thing down to the 3, where Moore takes it. Looks for a seam to the outside across the 25-30, slips through a tackle, and is ushered out of bounds by Brad Bunner at the 41-yard line. So a 30, or actually put it to almost the 42 there, so a 38-yard return there for Lance Moore, and it will be 1st and 10. They'll mark it right at the 42-yard line.
Special teams play. You called it. Now you've got now you're only dealing with half the field here for Coach Wells, and he's got the same crew out there. Colin Brown's the center. Gardner is the right guard, and let's see, who is that other? It's Denton Payne from Hemingford. Coach Haas, he coaches a pretty good offensive line up there, and Denton is it says here he's 5'10". Is he 5'10", Aaron? You might be 6 foot if he's 5'10".
Well, I would appreciate that. That would be really great. I've never ever been accused of being 6 foot in my life. A guy to keep an eye on, really two guys to keep an eye on for the West All-Stars are going to be the tight ends. Tyler Gideon of Burwell is the tight end on the near side. Noah Kirchall of Dundee County Stratton is on the far side. And those guys, if there's been a decent run, it's because those guys have held that defensive end spot well. And there's some good defensive ends for the East over there, as well as Braden Malati, not Travis, but Braden Malati squirts through the line for first down for the West. So things on schedule early on here on this first possession of the second half.
Who carried that first one? Was it
the first carry was Neiman.
26.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's Neiman again back in the formation. J.C. Nutter of Sandhills Thetford has taken every snap at quarterback for the West All-Stars. He wants a little he does hand it off to the fullback this time. And barreling his way out to the right side is Brady Rohde of Ainsley Litchfield. What a season he had. 6'2", 215 they list him at. Benny Stevens, we've called his name a few times over there for the East defense. But, gain of 5 right there, so 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, we said the core was kind of 7, but they have played 2 fullbacks. They'll play Gibbons, 14, who is from Twin Loop, and then they played Rohde, obviously, both of them, and doing a great job. Here's a good run from Sis.
Yep, Derek Sis. So you get to see a little bit there, and there's nothing fancy about this offense right now. It's ISO. It's kind of a stretch play out to one side or the other. We've seen a little bit of quarterback trap, if you will. We've seen kind of a quarterback sweep where both backs get in front of Nutter and just try to get a mass of humanity going one direction. And things on schedule here for the West All-Stars on their first possession of the second half, trailing 8-6. But like Tony said earlier, it doesn't feel like they're losing this game right now. They might not be for long the way they're going. Melati off the left side, runs into a wall, goes forward for a step, and then goes
Stevens
backward.
Again. Wow, what a hit. Yeah, Benny Stevens.
Yep.
Man.
Just some really solid. Stevens and Bentley have been fantastic there. Those on the end of the line and that same side of the defense, really, for the East All-Stars. That is Neiman. That is deep in the backfield now, and for the most part, we've seen a few of the spread formations, but not many out of the west side. That's Neiman on the toss sweep, squirts through a little hole. He is inside the 20. He has got first down yardage.
Impressive drive here for the West.
All on the ground so far. And again, the running backs, Neiman and Sis and Melati, they get a carry, they come out. And then they sit for a play or two, and then they go back in. So they stay very fresh. You might think that it would be tough to get into a rhythm. You know, sometimes as a running back with your line, you feel like you need to get the rhythm of the line and you know, how fast are they getting off the ball type thing. But these guys have adjusted really well to each other. That's Sis breaking to the outside at the 10 and bumped out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Bunner makes the tackle, but Sis has it first and goal for the West All-Stars, knocking on the door here early on in the second half.
You know what we need? You know how in this game everybody's got the multiple stickers and all that stuff? You got to zoom in on Nutter's helmet because he has got his pristine Stan Hill-Stedford helmet still in check with all the skulls and the footballs and the stars and the ST and his number 14 in behind it.
There's a good shot of it.
There is no there are no shared stickers, and he's played in a few All-Star games this summer.
Gibbons tried to spin out of a pile but does not go anywhere. Good tackle made there by Benny Stevens. Just if I say Benny Stevens makes a tackle, I'm not going to be wrong very much, apparently, in the second half.
Not very often.
Meanwhile, this drive is right at the 3-minute mark, taking up the entirety of this second half so far.
This is play number 9, and it looks like it's kind of sprinkling again.
Second and goal right at the 5-yard line. That is Neiman deep in the backfield. He will get the toss sweep to the left side, gets in behind Nutter. Neiman keeps the feet driving, but does not get to the goal line.
Benny Stevens.
No. Are you really? Peyton Watts. Just to say a different name, Peyton Watts was there as well.
We get the 3 there or the 2? Looks like the 3.
3-yard line where it will be third and goal.
Ball carried by Matthew Neiman. Carries down to the 3-yard line. Brings up third down, third and goal from the 3.
Neiman, a graduate of Brady High School, played for Coach Andy Seaman.
On the last play, led by Colton Davis.
They have Nutter's not carried. He still has 11 carries and leads them, but Melati has 9, Neiman has 6, Sis has 6.
And this is Gibbons, the fullback, trying to get the quick hitter. He lunges. He's got the touchdown.
Ball carried by Michael Gibbons.
Michael Gibbons with his second touchdown of the game. This one from 3 yards out. And that gives the West the lead 12-8 as this rain is back outside there. Rain is back here in Hastings during the 8-man All-Star game. So now the important 2-point conversion.
And you really want to get this one because you don't want to. You want to be up 6 and at least force him to make another one. He's short. I think Melati's short.
Melati is short. His helmet scores, but the football does not. There's a good shot of Melati. Tried to wiggle his way in there, but they do not give it to him. So at the end of the drive, 8 minutes to go, third quarter, it is West 12, the East 8. We'll come back to Hastings College after this.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. The ensuing kickoff after the touchdown run by Michael Gibbons, fielded at the 10-yard line. Cale Kleinschmidt of BDS gets it out across the 30-yard line, and they'll mark him to the 34, where it will be 1st and 10 for the East All-Stars. Suddenly needing an answer now, needing to get something going offensively. Since that opening drive covered 71 yards, they've had exactly 1 yard of offense total since then. So the East looking for some mojo, and they're going to try it with Ryan Newman at quarterback and Cale Kleinschmidt at running back right now. And they will hand it off to Kleinschmidt up the middle. He cannot evade the first defender there, the big fella on the west side, Tucker Gardner of Giltner makes the tackle. Yes, Giltner in the West in the All-Star game.
I think that's the first time that's happened.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Well, I think it's the only time. I think Giltner just moved west just based on how, you added in like a Tri-County and a Superior. So those teams were in the East, and Giltner just slid west a little bit.
They want a screen pass here for Kleinschmidt, and Cale does well to kind of avoid a little bit that first wave, but he's pulled down quickly there, and it will be 3rd and 10.
Pass from Ryan Newman to Cale Kleinschmidt was complete.
Boy, it's just been nothing going here for the East.
3rd down, 3rd and 11.
So 3rd down and just a shade over 10 here. Newman looking to pass, has some pressure, rolls out. Near side, it is incomplete. It was close to the hands there of Kleinschmidt, but Cale couldn't quite hold on to it, and it will be 4th down in a punting situation for the East All-Stars. Nolan Ploggy of Guardian Angel Central Catholic goes back to punt for the East. Lance Moore back to return for the West. And Ploggy has it blocked. It was Thornabar blocking it. And the West makes the big play on special teams. LaShawn Thornabar came through almost untouched and blocks the punt of the East. It'll be 1st and 10 for the West in prime field position at the 24 of the East.
I have a hint of an idea who's going to be the West defensive player of the game, Merrick.
Okay, I'll go with that.
I think it's going to be LaShawn. What a game he's having. Holy cow. And now you're in backbreaker mode here. 6:33 left. And you've got the ball. Where are they spotting that thing? At the 25? 24.
24. That is Neiman on the carry off the left side. Gets it down to the 20-yard line before a pile of yellow jerseys stack him up there. Bunner was there, along with Trevor Lusum of Exeter Milligan.
Carried by Matthew Neiman. Tackle led by Colton Davis.
Colton Davis also down there. And so, again, it's not a fancy offense by any means, but it's just like clockwork, 4 or 5 yards on 1st down and, 2, 3, 4 yards on 2nd down, puts you in 3rd and short.
Well, really, again, you talked about it earlier this week, and we talk about it, almost all game, all the stats and all the stars and all the accolades that the running backs and the receivers have. But this game really has come down to those 3 guys up front, really those 5 guys up front for the West team.
Cole Wemhoff finally got off a block that time, gets out there and tackles Sis for basically no gain. They mark him right at the 20-yard line again.
No gain on the play, keeps 3rd down, 3rd and 6.
And 3rd and 6 from the 20. Got to get about a football and a half inside the 15 for a 1st down. Nutter drops straight back over the middle. It's Gideon with a catch. He's got enough for the 1st down, and it takes 2 more gold jerseys to bring him to the ground. Rakowski, along with Colton Davis, to make the tackle on big Tyler Gideon, but he's got the first down for the West All-Stars. By the way, the West won this game a year ago, 36-14. The East had won the previous 2 years, and the West from 2008 to 2013 had won all those games in there. So 1st and 10 from the 12. This is Neiman on the toss sweep. Into the pile and basically nowhere there. Colton Davis in on the tackle. He was the first guy there, that nose guard for the East All-Stars.
Tackled by Tyler Rakowski.
Rakowski in there as well for the East.
Carries down to the 10-yard line. Second
I have that
down,
as the
second
41st run for the West, Eric.
That's a lot.
Trying to get my record page here.
Rushing attempts, 68 the record.
Oh, okay. We're not quite close yet, huh?
Not there. And that's a that's a slick little fullback trap right up the gut.
It was actually
single,
Nutter.
It was.
Nutter kept it.
It was, you're right. He just looks like a fullback because he's wearing 40 and he's one of the bigger guys out there. But it was a quarterback trap. That was almost a single wing half spin play. I've seen that before. It's 3rd and 4 coming up.
Third down.
And they're going to mark it right at the 6-yard line. Braden Malati will be deep in the backfield. From the 6 on 3rd and 3. Nutter wants to roll and pass. Looking, fires it right side, incomplete. Through the hands of the intended receiver. That would be Michael Gibbons. He would be looking for the magical number of 3, as in touchdowns scored in a game. He's scored both touchdowns for the West so far. But now it will bring up 4th down.
Now big play for the East defense here. I mean, if you're going to stay in this one, you got to get off the field here and then somehow figure out a way to get your offense rolling.
Well, that would start with blocking Thornabar, but we got to cross that bridge when we get there. We're going to get a timeout before we cross any more bridges. 3:19 to play, 3rd quarter. The West with a 4th and 3 from the 6 when we come back to Hastings after this.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
.319 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the West already with a touchdown on their opening possession of this quarter. Michael Gibbons' 3-yard touchdown run has given them firmly all of the control, but it's been the West defense that has really been the story of this game, and especially LaShawn Thornabar of Elm Creek, who has been a dynamo on defense, and then on the previous possession for the East, blocking the punt to set up the West All-Stars at the East 24 where this drive began. It is 4th down and about 4 yards to go from the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Eric, you talk about how this game is unfolded since that first touchdown drive for the East with that block punt and the lost yardage there. The East has 62 yards of total offense, and their first scoring drive was 76 yards. So kind of gives you an idea of how this thing has been. Big play here.
Neiman's in the backfield. Nutter wants to roll. Jump pass into the back of the end zone through 2 offensive guys and caught for the touchdown by Tyler Gideon.
Boy,
Kirchhoff was there too. He thought it was for him. Gideon ends up with the pass, though.
I'd like to see where J.C. Nutter threw that one from. That looked pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Yeah.
It's an all-star game, Tony.
I guess so. I guess if he was beyond, we had the spot was the 6-yard line. It looked like he was awfully close to the 6-5-yard line in that area when he threw it.
So now a conversion attempt, 0 for 2 so far as the West at these conversions. They'll try to throw it to get in. Did he snag it? He did for the conversion. That makes it West 20, East 8. When we come back to Hastings, the East All-Stars looking for anything to get going on the offensive side.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. 3:12 remaining here in the third quarter. The West on the board again. Tyler Gideon, a 6-yard touchdown catch from J.C. Nutter. They hook up on the conversion as well. And the West firmly in control, but only leading by 12 right now as Kleinschmidt takes this from the 8-yard line, has some room down the far sideline, and is finally ushered out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. So good field position here for the East. But, Tony, it's time to get something going for those guys in the gold jerseys. But you have a pizza roll while we're here.
I do. You know, we talked at halftime about how the West was behind, but it felt like they had the momentum and they kind of need to get ahead. Well, how about for the West team, 82 to minus 10 for yards so far this quarter, and they've turned that 8-6 deficit into a lead.
Newman, the quarterback for the East, and he gets it on to the near sideline for Sudbeck, who squirts down the sideline. He's got a first down all the way to the 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 13 yards for Sudbeck. Thornabar comes from a defensive end spot to make that tackle. You see the athleticism there of LaShawn Thornabar. Not if you haven't been paying attention, well, shame on you because LaShawn's really athletic. So it's 1st and 10. They'll mark it just shy of the 45-yard line here. Where was that? That was 41.
Yep. So I had 14 yards on that one.
And so Newman goes into the shotgun with Kleinschmidt to his left. Thornabar applies pressure. Newman escapes, now looking to just tuck it and run, and Ryan's got a first down. So a couple of plays and a couple of first downs for the East, getting things going, and a little bit of this spread, finding some gaps when they can go side to side. It's tough to do that sometimes.
Almost looks like Coach Beacon gave Newman a stick. Say, put it in your belt and let's draw some up here, spread this thing out and see if we can get them going. 13-yard gain there.
Yep, Garrett Caldwell of Superior, the tight end on the near side. See Bunner as a wing on the far side. And Newman basically in an empty shotgun set. They'll do a little inside handoff. A penalty flag comes down. This is Bodie out to the left side and only got a couple. Then the ball came out. And I think the West is hollering like they've got it.
I think,
and they do.
And sorry, Eric, I think the penalty is going to be on the East too, so this will probably get declined.
Officials talk about it for just a second. They are pointing the way of the West.
We'll see what this penalty is, though. Chop block.
There's a penalty flag on the play for blocking.
So that'll be declined.
I did not see who came up with it. Chandler Doncheski, number 30 there of Palmer, was awful excited. I'm not sure if he came up with it.
Yeah, and I think Bartling, 54, kind of forced it there, and I think Chandler did recover it. Our first turnover for the East, one apiece now on turnover. This has just been, really just a nightmare for the.
Nordhausen on the recovery of the fumble.
Like they officially credit Nordhausen, Brody Nordhausen, for the fumble recovery. Okay. So the West takes over at their own 33-yard line. This is Nutter keeping it the whole way. Off the left side, eludes one, stiff arms the second, and has 9 yards.
Football
just
player.
like that. Yeah, he's not bad, isn't he?
Ball carried by J.C. Nutter.
Bunner finally
Taken out of bounds
able
by Bradley
to
Bunner.
usher him out.
Carry is out to the 42-yard line, second down, 2nd and 1.
Yeah, I have a feeling if Coach Wells gets his way, the ball will not come out of the hand on a pass from J.C. Nutter without some extraneous circumstance before it.
Yeah, unless he's begging for some trick play or something.
Neiman, a running back, is going to split out to the near side. And that is Gibbons that was in the backfield. But this is Nutter keeping it the whole way to the left side. He's got a first down as he gets it across the 45 and out to the 47-yard line.
Tackle on the play by Sam Morrill.
And there's that boy Sam Morrill again making the tackle.
J.C. Nutter, I'm on his Twitter, at jnutter14_14. Going to go play football in Nebraska Kearney. They got a good one.
They do. A lot of quarterbacks at UNK, too.
I mean, you turn them into athletes. I mean, you can see
right.
J.C. Nutter could probably play tight end. He could maybe even play some fullback. He could probably play outside linebacker. You know,
right.
He could maybe play strong or free safety. They had a good one. Here these last few years who played in this game in Tyke Kojal.
Right.
Taken out of bounds by Bradley Bunner.
Bunner ushers assists on the toss sweep out of bounds, but they're coming in a little bit bigger chunks now. A gain of 7 there as they move it out to the 46-yard line of the East All-Stars with 1:29 to go here in the third quarter. It has been all West since they got on the board to make it an 8-6 game in the second quarter. Remember, that was a 4th and goal from the 10 when Gibbons got the little fullback screen, beautifully designed play on the pass from Nutter. Since then, it has really been all West side in this ball game. This is Malati on the toss sweep, puts his head down, pushes the pile forward a little bit, and he is right near, and I think he's got that first down yardage.
Yeah, you wonder, Eric, if the East stops that play if we are where we are right now, because the West is just kind of that snowball going downhill right now.
You know, you remember a couple years ago, Nebraska running that little ISO sweep with Rex Burkhead at Penn State like 28 times. That's kind of getting the feeling of the West. It's like this is the play we know we can get done. And this is where the rest of the offense is going to build from.
You feel Coach Wells' playbook is about as big as Herman Boone's right now.
It seems like it, right? Here's a little counter play, and it's Neiman. That's the first time we've seen a runner get into the second level, and he carries guys all the way down inside the 24, and he's fired up and fires up those fans here on the near side for the West All-Stars. Neiman with a tough run on the counter play.
That's one team that's wearing another team out is what that play is right there. Now they're inside the 30. What's inside the 25 to 24? Yeah, 18 yards on that one.
Like we said, they're coming in chunks. So we're under a minute to play here in this. Yeah, how many plays are we at?
Well, they had 8 first down, 10 first downs this quarter for the West.
Toss sweep. That is Sis. Cuts it back in the middle, just about popped out of there, but gets tackled at the 15-yard line. And then, we got a little extracurriculars at the end of that one. That's one of the linemen. Denton Payne of Hemingford. A little slow to get up on that one. Cole Wemhoff ended up with no helmet on at the end of that play as well. So the official's going to discuss what everyone saw on that one and penalize accordingly. With the ball at the 15, as it stands now, but I have a feeling it's not going to be there at the end of this.
Maybe a half the distance penalty. Offsetting.
So we got Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. And then we have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense.
So the play stands. Am I correct there? Will it be at the 15?
So it does look like, yeah, because they were dead ball.
Personal fouls on each team.
Right. So the play will stand because they were both dead ball fouls. Well, now they're marching it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, actually, I think the first penalty on the east, Eric, is half the distance, and the penalty on the west is the full 15 back. Even though they're offsetting because of where the ball is on the field, you can't go 15 yards on the east penalty.
Okay.
You follow me?
Well, right, but if you would go backwards first, then you can go forward 15.
I think it's always assessed on the defense first. I think somebody tweet us at Strive Sports or whatever and see if we're wrong.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear this one. So where is the ball is at the 23. So it actually the play actually stood because it went to the 15 and then we had the penalties.
Okay. Whatever it is, it's 1st and 9.
At
Nutter rolls, pass caught, first down and goal to go for the west side.
40. Yeah,
Brady Rohde, the fullback, slipped out in the backfield there and gets it inside the 10-yard line, or right at the 10, where it will be 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I'll be curious if that's what happened. As Tony said, did they mark off the half the distance first and then come back? So the play stood to the 15. They went half the distance to the 8 and then back to the 23. That would have to be right, I guess. Neiman on the toss sweep from the 10 to the 5. Butter knocks him out.
Keep him in
down
there,
to the 1.
Coach. Well, I think Neiman deserves a touchdown the way he's ran the ball this quarter.
Play by Bradley Butter.
Nope, Derek Siss is coming in. Keep with the rotation.
Second down,
It's like a good golf scramble. You don't mess up the rotation. It doesn't matter if you hit it 330 off the tee and you hit a 3-wood 308 to 8 feet. If it's not your turn to putt, you don't putt first.
Okay, fine.
Okay, if you could pull that off, I'd let you putt first, Tony. J.C. Nutter under center. Derek Siss is in the backfield. Nutter, boy, he didn't get it on that first surge. Not going to get it on the second surge either. Really nice job there by the interior of that defensive line for the East All-Stars. Andrew Schuler was in there, I believe. Yeah, there's Andrew right there of High Plains. So that's the end of the third quarter. It is the West 20, the East 8, all West Side here in the second half. And we'll come back for the fourth quarter at Hastings College after this.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com.
Provided by Adams Central High School.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us today on StriveSports.com as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play of the Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Classic. It is going to be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line for the West, who has dominated this game since their second possession of the contest. When they scored a touchdown to make it 8-6, it has been all West since that. We haven't had a ton of possessions in this game, which is just fine. It's just probably how both these coaching staffs wanted it to be. Nutter on 3rd and goal, under center. Give it to the fullback this time, and on the second surge, it's good. Ball came out.
But
that's the goal line, though.
The official is standing in the end zone. I'm like, what?
Standing in the end zone, pointing down. No, the ball was down. Brady Rohde scores for the West. I think he got a little confused with the soccer goal area in yellow and was thinking that was the goal line. He's like, no, that ball was down. It's like, well, yeah, he was down, but he was in the end zone. So, Rohde on the 1-yard touchdown run.
That was rushing attempt 51, Eric, for the West squad.
You know, that 68 carries in 1994, not terribly far off.
You never know.
As quick as they've gotten it back a few times from the east. What is all this spread formation stuff now? Kirchhoff split out to the near side. Gideon still tight on the left side, but that is Neiman split out to the left. Nutter and Gibbons there in the backfield. Now Neiman comes in motion. Nutter going to throw it all the way, but right through the hands of Kirchhoff. And if you saw the back judge, he caught one right in his midsection. So just 1 of 4 on conversions in the game for the West, but they still lead the East 26-8 here in the fourth quarter. 11:47 to go in this one. It has been so much fun to do this game for the last few years, Tony, and here with Strive Sports. It was the first thing that I got to do as a member of Strive TV. It was the first thing that Austin Penfield got to do as a member of Strive TV. So it's been a lot of fun kind of celebrating our anniversary here today with the 8-man All-Stars.
Yeah, great relationship we've kind of struck up with the Coaches Association here in the last few years, and a big thanks to Rob Brummels, who's the president from Osmond, and Isaac Franks, who's the secretary, and really kind of runs the camp while they're here for a week. Isaac, obviously, coach at Alma. They had a great season this year, lost to Palmer, I believe, in the round of 16 of the playoffs, and just great guys to work with, and great coaches this week. I know Carly Wells in both Chris Artisono, both from Strive schools out at Perkins County and at Bruning Davenport Shickley, guys we've been fortunate enough to work with during the fall, and fun to watch him here with all these great athletes as well during the 8-man All-Star camp here.
So we are ready for another kickoff from J.C. Nutter from his own 40-yard line. Line drive, but end over end and fielded. And off and running to the far side with a little separation out there was Colby Enns of Tri-County. And Colby is another one of those guys, and you mentioned, we mentioned Garrett Caldwell of Superior and the fact that Giltner was in the West this year. Schools like Tri-County, I'm thinking Tri-County and Thayer Central, Superior, those types of schools that very recently have dropped down to the 8-man ranks, so that's kind of changed where that east-west line has been. But Colby had a fantastic last couple of years for the Trojans, and Coach Brett Scheiding, 3,500 yards of offense and 51 touchdowns in just his junior and senior seasons. First down carry there for Ryan Newman for a couple of yards to the zone 40-yard line.
Yeah, and I think he played his first 2 years in 11-man, Eric, and then in these last 2 years, their first 2 seasons in 8-man, 3-yard gain there for Newman. And
I think we might see I think this is a little Gene Sewer-influenced offensive formation there with kind of the 2 fullbacks as that can help get the offense going sometimes. Just snap it to one guy, let him go. That's Newman again. He's got a first down there.
You wonder if they got enough time to do it this way.
Right.
They got to score quick. Now the kicker, they're down 18, so it's still 3 scores. It's not a 16-point game, so they've got to get it 3 times to see how fast they can move here.
Newman gets a little cross-buck action from his fullbacks in front of him, and his fullback, Sam Morrill of Creighton. That'd be a good guy to run behind, your teammate from high school, right? And the other one has been Cole Wemhoff. If you're picking size, you probably pick Cole pretty quick in the proceedings. So those are the 2 fullbacks that have been lined up kind of in front of Ryan Newman. And it brings 7 guys on the defensive side within about 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Thornabar is not letting him go.
LaShawn Thornabar has absolutely been the most outstanding player on defense on either squad, East or West, and it's not even a contest. Several tackles behind the line of scrimmage, a blocked punt to his credit. He has absolutely been the most dynamic player, probably even offensively for either side as well.
And it's kind of fun, too. I think his coach, Jace Dooland, from Elm Creek, is here as well on the staff for the West squad, so that's got to be kind of neat for those guys.
Newman wants to throw it on 3rd and a mile. Now steps up in the pocket, got pressured by Thornabar. Who else? Or even if he didn't get pressured by Thornabar, thought he was getting pressured by Thornabar.
Yeah, Don Chesky giving chase, too, there. He's had a nice game, too, kind of on the other side of Thornabar on the line there.
So it'll be 4th down and kind of a long 3 here with 9.5 minutes to go. Seen a lot of Ryan Newman, not a ton of Nolan Ploggy at quarterback for the East. Newman drops straight back, pumps one time, now steps up, throws it back to the left, and it's wide open. It's a first down. It's a nice play there, as it was caught by Chris Bentley of Neely Oakdale. Boy, he just kind of sat on the back side of that whole thing, and the defenders kept running away, and he just stood right there. Picks up a big first down for the East with 9:12 to go. And, play cards kind of on the wrists of all these guys, so they're just calling out a play from the sideline and straight to the line of scrimmage. Newman in the shotgun. That's Kleinschmidt kind of off to his right. Ryan straight drop back, wants the home run ball to the end zone. It is knocked away at the last second. Wonderful defense by Lance Moore of Mullen out there. Boy, Lance was listed as the other quarterback for the West. Like we said before, J.C. Nutter has taken every snap on offense at quarterback for the West. So Lance has played some special teams and played some fantastic defense on that exchange right there to bring up 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
2nd down, 2nd and 10.
With the ball at the 26-yard line of the West, the East desperately needing to get something and quicker than later. Newman in the shotgun, now going to take a timeout. Perhaps a little confusion for the East guys as they were trying to get out of the play call and to the line of scrimmage. So 9:01 to play, 4th quarter. The East trying to mount a charge when we come back to Hastings.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
It's been fun to kind of go back and look at a few of the records. One we have to get updated, though. The longest pass play in 8-man All-Star game history isn't right, though, Tony. You can't have a 100-yard play.
Yeah, it's got to be 99. We'll see if we can get Coach Frex to update that. He's going to get. We'll send him an email on no fun.
Cale Kleinschmidt taking that one right up the middle and stopped quickly there by the West side. The first guy there was actually Brady Rohde, who had the touchdown run just a little while ago, the last possession for the West.
No gain on the play, brings up 3rd and
so now it's 3rd and 10 with the clock rolling and a little over 8.5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Ryan Newman, the Creighton quarterback, takes the shotgun snap, throws it out to the right side. It is caught in a quick tackle immediately out there on the far side by Hunter Reimers of Palmer. Well, if it's the last time that Hunter gets to put a helmet and shoulder pads on, he's making the most of it. Called his name quite a few times there in that first quarter, makes a great open field tackle right there. So it's 4th and 9. And this certainly feels like, the way the West has gone, Tony, this feels like it might be the final chance the East has of having a say in how this game ends. Newman takes the snap, pressure right away, evades one, now will loft it towards the end zone.
Yeah.
And contact in the end zone going to be a pass interference, and it's going to be on Reimers.
I think Hunter knew it too.
Yep,
He was
got
just caught
turned
up there, and he couldn't get turned around.
And I tell you, I don't know that pass was actually intended for the guy that Hunter was covering. I think it was actually maybe intended for the guy that was underneath, and Newman kind of stepped up and just chucked it towards the end zone. There was two guys close to each other, but fortunately for the East, they're going to get a crack at this. That should be half the distance from the 25-yard line, and then first down on the pass interference penalty.
Boy, you really – if there's no penalty on that play, it's
probably a touchdown.
Well, I don't know. I'm saying if he breaks it up without a penalty, that probably ends this game. I mean, nothing has happened in the second half that would make you think the West wouldn't run it about 13 times.
Right.
So we're at the 12 now.
Yep. 1st and 10, not goal to go just yet, but Newman in the shotgun. Straight drop back, throws left, caught down to the 1, and good tackle there right at the end of the play. Lance Moore makes the tackle on Bentley. But it is going to be, I think it's going to be 1st and goal.
I do too.
They'll give him 11 of the 12 that he needed. Only bad thing about this drive, if you're the East, it's taken 4 minutes and 6 seconds so far.
Yeah.
Now Newman goes in with that double fullback look in front of him. Newman, a little stutter step, goes in the middle, and he got it for the touchdown. So Ryan Newman gets the East on the board for the first time since the 7-11 mark of that first quarter when it was Ryan Newman scoring the other touchdown. It's been so long I forgot who it was, but it was Newman on the touchdown run. And so, still a 12-point game. This would be nice to have, though, to kind of take the pressure off the other couple of attempts if you need them.
And you're going to get a false start.
Yep. Wemhoff, I think, just rocked out of his stance just a bit.
Yep, agree.
Right before the start of that play.
So now they're going to try from the 8.
Right.
And I wonder, at 7:35, 2 possessions. You had an onside kicking already almost, don't you? The way this thing's going?
The average time of possession for the West right now, 4 minutes, 3:21, 2:38 with a touchdown, 4:13. Yeah, you really do. Newman rolls and fires it. And it's intercepted on the conversion by Hunter Reimers. Hunter secures it, tucks it away. Good job, Hunter. 7:35 to play, fourth quarter. West 26, the East 14. Their perhaps last chance might be coming next.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at novafitnessequipment.com. Eric Ogden and Tony Chapman back with you on StriveSports.com. The West leading the East in the 8-man All-Star Classic, 26-14. That last drive, 11 plays, 63 yards, capped off by the 1-yard touchdown run by Ryan Newman, his second of the game. And it is indeed the East lining up in the onside attempt formation. Garrett Caldwell of Superior has it teed up at the 40. And squibs it down the middle, still loose, and then Hunter Reimers covers it up for the West All-Stars. We talked about it just before that commercial break, that the time of possession for the drives for the West, here they are in the game. 7:15, 3:23, 4:13, 4 minutes, 3:21, and 2:31. Those have been the time of possessions for each possession for the West. They haven't had it a short time by any means. The shortest time they had it at the 2:31 mark.
Yeah, you got to take some chances here now, I suppose, if you're the West, or the East, excuse me. And if you're, they're maybe going to creep up 6 guys into the box maybe there. And then that if they get it blocked right, could create a big play. Cicero on the toss play there. And Bunner's probably going to be the guy that's the touchdown saver, because I'm guessing they're going to probably start trying to send 6 or 7 at a time.
And, Brad did a nice job there holding Sis to 6 or 7 yards there. So we're under 7 minutes to go now. J.C. Nutter has played every snap at quarterback for the West All-Stars. He's done it pretty well, too. Toss sweep. Braden Malati of West Holt slips off the first couple of tacklers, and he's got a first down. Bunner there in on the tackle,
Carried by Braden Malati.
along with Peyton Watts of Osceola. First down after 2 snaps, though. That's exactly what the West wants to see.
Territory, ball now on the 44-yard line, 1st and 10 West.
West Holt was a team that played a really tough schedule up north central Nebraska, and they're in their first couple years as well of 8-man football, and went down to, if I can remember watching, they went down to Bankelman and beat Dundee County Stratton in a great playoff game, like a 30-28 or 32-30 kind of game for West Holt there.
Nutter on the counter play. That's Neiman on the carry, and he's upended quickly there. Good tackle. Kind of submarining underneath there was Trevor Lusum of Exeter Milligan.
Ball carried by Matthew Neiman.
But again, Neiman and Sis, Malati have been rotating this entire game. Basically every snap, those guys have rotated back and forth.
2nd and 7.
Have you added them up individually?
Yeah.
I'd be curious.
61 for Neiman, 54 for Sis, and 38 for Malati, and 72 for Nutter.
2nd down and 7 to go. Here comes a sweep play to the near side, and Sis cuts back into the middle.
Vision there, first down again.
He's probably run that toss play more than once in high school, so it's kind of a feel thing. It probably doesn't take a long time to remember how that should go, and he's got the 8 yards he needed for the first down. So 4 snaps and 2 first downs, right at 10 yards on each of the series of 2, if you will, for the West All-Stars, just keeping things right on schedule. This drive has already taken 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yep, just exactly what you want. We went out to Grant last fall and watched them play Dundee County Stratton, and Derek Sis, this is a lot of what they do, but they ran a little more option, and him as a pitchback is just, I don't know how you defend it at the high school level, but he's a fine back. It
was a really good job defending the dive that time. Cole Wemhoff came down from the near side defensive end and just kind of rode Noah Kirchall right into that play there. Michael Gibbons on the carry. They do give Gibbons a gain of 1, but Wemhoff stuffed that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they've got 7 carries between those 2 fullbacks, too. It kind of keeps you honest. Make sure you stay there. But you're right. It's been counter and toss. Really, it's about all it's been. A little bit of stretch ISO.
Yep, little zone stretch just to get things going. That's on the vlog. Don't make any faces at that.
This shirt though is sharp. This is
I'm
feeling good about this
good.
Jordan Spieth action that I have on.
Nutter takes
shotgun. Did you see that?
That was a shotgun snap. And we had a penalty flag. Nobody saw it. That's why the officials were like, wait. We got to come back. We got to try this again.
Illegal formation. Shotgun.
Well, it is an illegal procedure. I don't know if it's an illegal formation, but I don't know that they might not have been set, actually. It seemed like Nutter got up there pretty quick and snapped it kind of before maybe everyone was set. So we'll go back to the 40-yard line on this one now.
4:15 though, so 7:30 they started, so it's already been 3 minutes. They're they're running the clock just about perfectly, Eric. I don't think you could really do it much better. And they're in single back shotgun again.
Kind of a little pistol set. They want to reverse, and they're going to throw it more. Has it wide open, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Woo! That was fun. That was awesome.
That is Connor Cruxon of Chambers Wheeler Central Ewing from Lance Moore, and it will cover 40 yards.
Right at 40. Yep. End your high school career, Lance Moore. Have a little fun. That was awesome.
And a conversion attempt still to come. Wow. And that is, again, right there, the beauty of, why do you run power offense? Because you can run power offense for a game and you seemingly break the will of the other team until you run a trick play and really completely do it. And then you come back to the sweep on the conversion, and Derek Siss.
You going to give it to him?
No, I don't think so. They're pointing down pretty quick there.
Fail.
So fail on the run, but not on the reverse pass. Lance Moore to Cruxon for the touchdown, and the West firmly in control, leading the East 32-14 for the final 3:50. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Nova Fitness Equipment of Omaha has provided the very best weight room, track and field, and sports surfacing products for over 30 years in Nebraska. They provide Cybex, Matrix Fitness, Vertimax, Tough Stuff, Pro Elite, Stairmaster, York Barbell, Troy Barbell, and UCS track and performance products. From rubber flooring, strength equipment, cardio products, and sports performance accessories, Nova Fitness Equipment has what you need to make your athletic program successful. Contact Nova Fitness Equipment today at their home office in Omaha or online at NovaFit. The ensuing kickoff from J.C. Nutter, fielded by Cale Kleinschmidt at the 8. Cale with a couple of green jerseys right in front now gets a little bit of a block and gets his way out across the 25 and out to the 28-yard line before Bastianos makes the tackle there for the West Side. But this is we've reached the fun part of the game, I think, now, Tony. Both teams, the score or the winning side, I think, probably basically not in doubt, and so now we can kind of relax. And I was interested, look at the last 3 years of this game. The winning score has been 38-14, 36-15, 36-14.
Pretty similar, huh? Here we go.
So I think we're right on schedule. And that pass is intercepted by the West, and coming down the near side, the catch made by Kiffin Cook of Perkins County. For his coach, Carly Wells, one more time. Kiffin gets the INT on the first play of the drive for the East.
Yeah, now we can just kind of, hopefully we can just kind of end this one on a positive note and maybe let this clock kind of just dwindle down here, as it's going to be at the 23-yard line. So it's funny, Eric. I'm looking back through here on the West stat sheet, and we talked about the running. 56 carries. I have 255 yards unofficially, but 3 touchdown passes.
Right
for the West. So 3 of their 4 touchdowns have come on the ground, and Lance Moore is going to play quarterback now.
Yep, Moore slips down there. Probably a good idea to keep it in bounds and keep that clock rolling a little bit after a short gain. Always so much fun to be part of the 8-man All-Star game. We get to come over for Media Day on Monday and shoot some video, and great job by Austin Penfield, by the way, putting that video together, the hype video that we shared on the 8-Man Coaches Association on Facebook the other day. By the way, the coaches' interviews with Coach Wells and Coach Artisono.
Those were fun,
just blew. We didn't do anything with them. That's just the interview, I guess it proves it's all about the content, not the delivery, right?
Yep.
That is Matthew Neiman with the carry out to the far side. He stays inbounds.
Tackle on the play by Benny Stevens.
Benny Stevens with another tackle.
Carries down to the 17.
So, see if we get some MVPs.
3rd and 6.
Do we really need somebody to tell us
Well,
who they were?
get the official ones. Thank you,
There
Isaac.
we go.
We concur with all. We will wait to the very end.
We
but
feel pretty good about all 4 of those, Coach Frex. Thank you.
3rd down and 5 to go from the 18-yard line. Moore under center. A little quarterback trap play. Tries to get out to the left side, and he cannot evade the grasp of Derek Reardon of Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family.
Ball carried by Lance Moore.
And that'll bring up a 4th down play here with a minute and a half
Tackle on the play
yet
by
to
Nate
go.
Scholler. Toss on the play brings up 4th down, 4th and 7.
Some more under center on this 4th down play. And he will drop back to pass. Over the middle, little Gibbons on the fullback screen, and Gibbons into the end zone for the touchdown.
Touchdown pass. And they run it all game.
Moore to Gibbons. That is the 3rd touchdown, so we've tied a record. Michael Gibbons ties the 8-man All-Star Game record, scoring 3 touchdowns. Lance Moore will cap his career with 2 touchdown passes on 2 attempts, it appears. What was the yardage on that, Tony?
18.
18 yards on 4th down.
And should we just fail on this? If we just fail on this conversion here, we've got like the same score as we've had the last 3 years.
We're just almost perfectly there, aren't we? Moore in the shotgun. Looking left, just looking. Not a lot of pressure.
Lance
2
Moore.
offensive linemen didn't even move there, and it's broken up at the line of scrimmage, or at the goal line there. 2 the center and the right guard were just like, we're nothing. No, we're done moving.
Lance
is there like he's playing in the end zone at Mullen High, like watching the game, but he's like all-time quarterback, whatever, just kind of just playing around there.
God, that was a fun time back in the day. Minute 6 to go in this one, and we'll come back after a quick timeout and put a bow on everything.
Trucking industry gives you a lot of opportunity for careers because there's such a wide, vast list of possibilities and areas that you can go into. As technicians, these trucks are as advanced as cars are today, so we need technicians that can work on them and understand how to work the computer system and get them up and running so the customer can make money. These trucks are workhorses, but they're built for comfort and they're easy to drive. Freightliner builds these trucks for drivers' wants and customers' needs.
(38-14), the West dominating this one since their second possession of the game back in the first quarter. J.C. Nutter set to kick it away again.
JC got his leg a workout tonight, didn't he?
He has. You got to remember, playing on a 100-yard field, all of these would be touchbacks.
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
regular 8-man game. That's Colby Enns of Tri-County still on his feet, gets it out to the 38-yard line. Waterboy on the near side got taken out in the process.
Tackle on the play made by J.C. Nutter.
Oh, that's not good.
East returns the ball out to the 38-yard line, but they take over first.
Really did get hurt on the near sideline with the Waterboy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, 52 seconds left in this one, and it will be Ploggy under center. Steps up, fires it deep. Got a guy out there. It is just a little bit shy, though, of Chris Bentley. Popped open for a moment.
Ball's incomplete.
I remember the first game, my dad was coaching at Deschler. The first game he let me be on the sideline with him, I was probably 9. And we're playing at Roseland. And Roseland's field was in the outfield of the town baseball diamond, and the visitors got the dirt side, and it was raining. And I got ran over on the opening kickoff in the mud.
In the mud.
That was my indoctrination to high school football at 9 years old. That was fun.
And I bet your mom was terribly pleased
Touchdown.
with that. Colby Enns is wide open down the near sideline, and that is going to go 62 yards for a touchdown. So that was Ploggy to Enns.
Yep.
For the touchdown. And a conversion still coming here. By the way, we checked the record book, and we have unofficial stats, but by our unofficial count, the West, the last time they had it on the touchdown pass from Moore to Gibbons, broke the first down record. They now have it at 26. Ploggy pressured, gets it to Enns out in the flat. Cannot wiggle his way, though, into the end zone.
Next point attempt is no good.
And so the conversion does fail.
5 touchdowns this quarter, Eric. 0 for 5.
0 for 5 on the conversions.
Touchdown pass and drive for the
Well, we've only had – we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've had 10 possessions in this half. 7 have resulted in touchdowns.
Yep. Defense optional here in the second half.
We don't need no stinking defense. That's what it is. Sorry, I'm breaking out the impersonations now. So it was the East. A 62-yard pass, though, from Ploggy to Enns. And again, you know, we mentioned it back in the first quarter, but a guy that was unable to play in the game, even though he practiced for a good chunk of the week for the East side. Heartland's Austin Stewart, who set the single-season all-class rushing record this past fall for the Huskies, 3,182 yards it was.
It'd have been a nice guy to have, wouldn't he?
Right. So you got to think that, and that kind of happened Friday morning. He had a doctor visit there, we understand. So it was kind of late in the week to not know that you were going to have Austin's capabilities. I was around the team on Monday. He was playing with the guys. He was all set to participate full throttle for the game, and I know he was really looking forward to it because he sat out of the Shrine Bowl a couple weeks ago there in Kearney.
Kiffin Cook again returning that kick.
And so I know Austin was looking forward to it, but unfortunately the health doesn't allow it, and we hope he gets fully healthy and ready to go. He'll be reporting to Northwest Missouri State to play 11-man football. Coming up here in the fall for
decent program there.
Yeah,
in Maryville, isn't it?
They've been okay in the last 15 years or so. It looks like Nutter's going to take a knee, and the 40th edition of the Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Classic will be in the books. 3 touchdowns in the game from Michael Gibbons. Some fireworks at the end of this one, and it's the West 38 and the East 20. Your final score here in the 40th edition of the Sertoma 8-Man All-Star Classic. Thanks for joining us this afternoon and evening on StriveSports.com. While we've got them here, let's just read off our MVPs. For the East side, on offense, it was Ryan Newman, the quarterback from Creighton. Couple of touchdown runs, including that first possession of the game. It looked like the East maybe was going to have the upper hand. Newman, though, credited as the East offensive MVP. And for the East defense, it's Brad Bunner of Clarkson Lee. We mentioned him pretty much all throughout the game, making big plays, had an interception back in the first half. Brad Bunner of Clarkson Lee, your East defensive MVP. The West defensive MVP, we could have told you this one at the end of the first quarter. LaShawn Thornaber of Elm Creek just completely turned this game on its head. The second time that the East had the football, they started to go backwards, and they went backwards for the next 3 possessions because of LaShawn Thornaber of Elm Creek. Far and away the best player on the field, probably offensive or defensive, really throughout this game. He is your West team defensive MVP. And your West offensive MVP, that they're giving it to J.C. Nutter of Sandhills Thedford, but I tell you, you really could kind of credit the offensive line, I think, of the West. Those guys blocked for, a multitude of running backs. They really rotated 3 guys at running back, 2 more guys at fullback, in addition to Nutter, who took just about every offensive snap in the ball game. But J.C. Nutter is officially your West offensive MVP. Tony, do you want to add anything up? We can come back in a minute if you want.
I would just say Nutter at 72 yards rushing, and then he was 6 for 10 passing for 2 touchdowns. So I think well-deserved there and ran that offense very well. But you hit the nail on the head. I think those interior linemen, you look at Brown from Blue Hill was the center, and then number 48 from Hemingford, who was Denton Payne, played the left guard, and then the right guard was Tucker Gardner from Giltner. And those 3 really just controlled this thing and really made that West offense go. And they really just kind of controlled the football game really from, as you said, about the middle of the second quarter on. This was really dominated by the West side.
Yep, a lot of fun to watch. And again, congratulations to all of the players and the coaches involved in the game here today. We'll probably see a future Hall of Famer for the 8-man game perhaps in this one here today. It's been a lot of fun for us this week to help share the story of the 8-man Coaches Association and the All-Star game that they put on, obviously sponsored by the Sertoma here in Hastings. Always fun to come to Hastings College. It's such a great facility at Lloyd Wilson Field. They practice and stay all week at Central Community College, and I know the guys and the coaches are very appreciative of being able to kind of put all of the guys together throughout the week. They're on different teams, and so they have different practice fields. But when they go to those events in the evening, everybody's kind of together like it's one really big team, and a family atmosphere. And it's always fun to kind of go through these go through the game. And of course, you hope it's a good game, and we got a good one here, fun one tonight. So the final score for the 40th edition of the 8-man All-Star game: the West 38, the East 20. Thanks to Taylor Siebert and to Ty and Austin from Sandy Creek running from some cameras for us today. Our producer, Austin Penfield, Tony Chapman, our color analyst. My name is Eric Allgett. Thanks for joining us on StriveSports.com. Have a fantastic Saturday. From here in Hastings, we say so long, and we'll see you next year for the 8-man All-Star Game.